Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Drifter Saloon. Ven Corbin here, your host, and today we'll be doing the featured superstar from WWE Champions, Big E, the Powerhouse of Positivity. We have a new member who joined our content creator group that will be giving us a scoring, and that is Benny, another official Scopely content creator, so pleasure to have them aboard. Want to say one major thing before we jump into this. Of course, this is a for fun project, so please do not send any sort of hate or animosity towards individuals that are being a part of this. I want to keep this as fun and lighthearted as possible. I asked two specific questions of the content creators today. I asked them what their scoring was, and then how did this Big E compare to other New Day cards? Not just Big E cards, but Tech Kofi, Trickster Woods, things like that. And well, you'll see what the score is. For those who are new to this, basically what we do is we have a scoring system 1 out of 10, and then we attribute that score to a certain tier. This is not an official tier list by any means, it's just something that we do to kind of give us a breakdown of how the power creep goes and where we see the superstar on its debut weekend. So this review is not official by any means, it's just something we do for fun, and we'll jump into it with the top name on our list, which is 2Bob, and we'll go from there. So, 2Bob said, in comparison to other New Day members, Big E is the second strongest new member behind Tech Kofi, and is still stronger than this. Tech Kofi is still stronger than this card. He's more or less a fancy turn 2 version of Showboat Batista with the 18 MP charge version. The community still needs to pay for. It's still a solid card if you manage to get him, and he will be great for turn 2ing tours, but not competitive gameplay. Not even close when it comes to that kind of gameplay. Slightly better than Motu Big E with both gears, but way worse than Tech Kofi. And then as far as like after comments, Powerhouse Big E was unfortunately a massive letdown. He still can get it done, but the community was looking for more of a great, awesome Big E card. And truthfully, that's where I very much agree. We wanted something great to compare to the WWE Champion that's current the WWE Champion, and we needed a really good Big E card. Unfortunately, modern Powerhouse Big E did not fill that gap that we had. But that's fine. You will hear Tech Kofi mentioned a lot. Of course, Against All Odds Kofi is highly referenced. It was a top tier card for a time being. A lot of people enjoyed that version of Kofi and was used in a lot of different events. So be prepared to hear that in a lot of different reviews. Benny is sick, so didn't leave a comment. Just the score was sent over, which is fine, you know, if they're feeling ill. So you'll see Benny's score when we get to that part of it. Davey, on the other side, was said that this is the best of the New Day members. Might be equal or beat Against All Odds Kofi by an edge. The best moveset that Davey seen was the green, red, red. The basically make red, bleed, and then the finisher with the NWO plate. He said no one is kicking out. His blue, green build didn't do as much mayhem as he hoped. So Davey sounds like he was hoping for a little bit more from that blue green build, but we didn't get to see that, unfortunately. Something else I need to mention: a couple of these individuals rated initially with the NWO plate. If you don't know what that is, essentially generate I believe it's so many green gems and or maybe it's generate so many red gems and then add 75% damage to red moves. Fantastic plate to have for Big E, especially if you run triple red, but I wanted them to score this card without having the plate, because some of you might not have the NWO plate, but you pull Big E and want to know how we feel about him. So all of these should be scored without the NWO plate. Regardless, if there is an NWO plate, basically add a point to him from whatever the score is. So yeah, the make red, the bleed, a finisher, very good moveset from Davey D there. DJ's up next. Kofi and Woods characters are outdated, which I super agree with. Let's get a King Woods soon. I would love King Woods for a superstar. I would chase that all weekend. At least this Big E is scaled, so he's better than them. However, DJ prefers the Motu version. This Big E is too high charge, and the coaching isn't essential, which I did leave the coaching up there so you can see what his coaching ability is. Again, not something super fantastic. Flo's up next and says that Big E's on par with Tech Kofi. Big E should always win turn 2. Odd is that he's a premium turn 2 Batista. Not saying that doesn't matches in ring style, but it's not really anything to invoke want unless you're a Big E fan. So if you're huge on Big E, yeah, you're going to want to chase this card, but otherwise, it's not, you know, he's not a super big one on people's lists. Goldie came in with the triple red moveset with focus on the NWO plate. This was mentioned a little bit earlier. As I said, some people wanted to really see the NWO plate in action with the moveset. Red 3 is loaded on turn 1, procs on turn 2, and high possibility of cascading into a pin that triggers the NWO plate. Match is over on turn 3 with the botch finisher. Clear, cut, concise. If you watch any of the previews that were done from the content creators, you'll see this pretty often. As this is being a review, hindsight's 2020. That NWO plate is very good. Goldie said compared to other New Day members, Tech Kofi and Powerhouse Big E are top 2, and then Motu Big E, even without gear, is 3rd. And that seems appropriate. Again, Tech Kofi is going to be the one to compare to. Until we get that King Woods. I think that once we get King Woods, he's going to be super good, and it's going to be great to have him, and he's going to be god tier. But, I don't know. Maybe I'm marking out. Who knows? J-Man came in with kind of a longer review, so I'll try to get through this a little bit quickly, but he had a lot to say, which also gave us 2 flaws. He's a high-tier character with a few major flaws. I also can't ignore the modern Powerhouse meta, which is really strong at this point. First flaw, his move MP charges are too high. You need double MP trainers plus Santa Hogan coach to make him turn 1. True. And not a lot of people have that Santa Hogan, so we're going to just ignore that and say that you need 2 MP trainers, and even still, he's going to be a turn 2 character. Second flaw, he is also prone to early pins from the create gem area moves and the countdown gems going off. This will often put you into turn 3 wins to win territory, which J-Man doesn't like. His countdown gem area needed to be won by 4 to take the advantage of the Z plate. True. Coaching ability is very limited and not required for any current characters. If you blow 1 cross break, you're going to blow them all anyways and just basically clear the board. Very, very true. Compared to other New Day members, he's probably more powerful than Tech Kofi in the current meta. Xavier is not in the discussion as he badly needs a new character. Cough, cough. King Woods. For me, this one was a pass. J-Man's going to stick with the likes of Keith Lee, Z Bryan for modern Powerhouse requirements. Again, if you have Z Bryan, that's my go-to for current Powerhouse modern requirements. But Keith Lee is also another fantastic choice. We've seen a ton of 5-star gold Keith Lees and what they can do. Gerson, straight to the point, as always. Love it. Scored Big E this way because of the randomness from board to board. So when you see what G's scoring is, it's mostly because of the randomness from board to board. That's why he rated it that way. Up next is Sheik. Compared to other New Day members, Xavier and Kofi in Champions, Tech Kofi, Powerhouse Big E, and then he threw Trick Xavier in as, like, I don't know, to be nice. And then as far as comments goes, this is the most disinterested that Sheik has ever been in a character in a long time, which is disappointing as he really loves Big E, but not someone he will dismiss as a character automatically because he doesn't do 800 million damage turn 1. I didn't see a single setup in the previews that wowed him or the coaching ability. He thinks that it's pretty telling when he didn't see a single Powerhouse Big E all weekend for the feud. This was coming off of I believe this was the 4-day feud. And I didn't see a lot of Big E's either. So people might not have been chasing him, or I just didn't run into them. So Sheik got up to like 50 mil in war score. Congrats on that, by the way. And besides the gotta catch 'em all aspect, getting every character, the only reason why Sheik would want Big E is for the 3 Emerald tokens at the end of the month for the Victory Tour. And it makes sense. I mean, yeah. Merrick comes in with the NWO plate. He's pretty much a guaranteed turn 2 win. Best Big E, better than any Xavier, and he'd rank him similar to Tech Kofi. Again, there's that Tech Kofi we talked about. Coach isn't really a big deal at the moment. Very good card, but can't help but feel disappointed in wanting more. Merrick's, I agree. Very, very much so. Retro as always. I love Retro's reviews. You have asked to compare against the other New Day members, but this Big E currently isn't even the best Big E card. As a standalone card, or even as a coach and a trainer, wasn't worth the chase to try to get him. So Retro basically just did what he could for the event, and then enjoyed the holidays with family and watching other streams. Which you can also check out my stream at twitch.tv/VenCorbin. Sapper also was having a lot on this plate, so he couldn't give us a very large review. So he scored it and gave us a quick comment saying, slow character, not really ideal for quick feuding or showdown. Don't think he's better than Tech Kofi or Motu Big E. So Sap put Powerhouse Big E 3rd on the list behind him. And then last but not least, Zinker. Thank you so much for, still giving us your opinion. His finisher is very good, and although he does not let you choose where to put the bot's gem area, with the right trainers and coach, his pin is high and difficult for the opponent to get out of. A disadvantage is that he is not turn 1 and needs 2 movements to be able to launch his finisher. Most of the movements are random and is a high disadvantage of this Big E. Zinker still prefers Tech Kobe over Big E, who is not even tier 1 anymore and can make pins higher. True, Tech Kobe still can hit pretty hard. So usually I jump straight into the scores. I wanted to give a little bit of my review, my little opinion on it. This Big E could have been so much better. We have been seeing a lot of modern powerhouses and high MP for them, and I guess that's what they want to do with powerhouses, but they could have given us 1 or 2 that could have scaled into it better. Each moveset felt like it was missing something to make the moveset better, and they didn't really give us what we needed to make one of the movesets be greater above all else. And that's truly the most unfortunate part of this. So I gave him a 6 personally. I feel like he definitely falls into the tier 2 category. But we're going to jump over here now, and I'll find a way to do this faster eventually, I swear. And here are the scores. 7, 7, 9, 7, 7, 8, 7, 8, 4, 7.5, 2.5, 8, and 7 for an average of 6.7. So 6.5 essentially is what we got for this Big E. He'd be a tier 2 character. For those that are thinking he's tier 1, yes, obviously a lot of these folks who did rate a 7 said that he was around an 8 with the NWO plate, which would put him teetering on the tier 1 category. But not every character that Scopely puts out is going to be tier 1. And with the power creep and the way things are built, it's got to be that some cards are just not going to be as good as we expect them to be. And where this one landed, in my opinion, and kind of the way the scoring lands, he's a solid tier 2 character. If you get him, still worth taking up, but not somebody you're going to rely on all the time. He'll get through tours very well, especially with the tour perks that pump up his moves a bit. But you're not going to want to jump out and, go crazy if you have someone other in your lineup like Z-Bry or Keith Lee, as mentioned previously. I'm bummed. I love the New Day. They are a fantastic tag team, and in Champions, they're not reflected too much as such. We have Tech Kofi, and then, of course, Trickster Woods is an MP coach. I'm hoping that when we get King Woods, he's definitely a lot more formidable and a character that we can all chase and be super excited to have on our roster. So yeah, that's pretty much where we land on this. Definitely check him out for yourself. If you pull him, feel free to give me your opinion down below on who you think the best character is in Champions as far as the New Day members go. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you have Powerhouse Big E. And that's it. So I appreciate it. This review, moving forward, I'll try to post all the reviews on Wednesday, which means I won't know who the next superstar is coming out on the weekend. It'll still be a surprise, but I feel like Wednesdays are a good day to get this out, and I appreciate everyone that participated, all the content creators that took time to give me their score and send their comments. It's a great way for us to see these characters and how people feel about them right then, and then eventually the tier list will be updated and you'll see, Powerhouse or Powerhouse Big E or Riddle or whoever on there. As it stands, if you folks like the content here, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that fun stuff. I hate saying that, but it's true. If you want to support the channel, feel free to do so, or follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/BenCorbin. And then all of the content creators links are going to be down below in the description. Please follow them and support them as well, as, all these folks put out fantastic videos, or they stream and have fantastic content there too. I got nothing else to say. I appreciate everyone being here, and I will catch you on the next one. Until then, take it easy.